if people realize, like, if you have a goal and you don't give up on that goal and you're just constantly going after that thing, as long as you're moving forward and you don't quit, you're gonna get there. All right, man.
Yo, what up?
Official, man. Official. We got our spot. This is our own studio, man. Listen.
I'm really loving the upgrade.
What?
I'm really, really loving the upgrade.
I mean, obviously, this is just the next step.
Yep, from idea to action.
Yeah, man. That's, and like we were just saying a minute ago, you can't just keep talking about it.
Yep.
You got to be about it.
Yep.
And we never stopped, man.
No.
I mean, there was a gap. But we kept, I mean, it was still moving. People don't know the backstory.
The backstory, the behind the scenes, the dedication, commitment, consistency it takes to do anything.
Yeah.
Really.
Also,
do anything well.
People don't even know. Like we tried a couple times to do a podcast. You know what I mean? That's and it's out there too. But
yeah, I always tell people I'm an expert at what not to do. You know what I'm saying? So still working on it.
Right. I mean, and I think that's life, man.
Yeah.
Life is what not to do. You keep learning, and then now the trick is to once you know that, to not do it, not repeat it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, man, I'm super excited. We finally got our own spot. Got it all set up, and like I said, this is not it, but this is the next thing.
Oh, 100.
You know what I mean?
And like I say, I think I consider, like, when we first started, it was more like feeling it out.
What's the direction?
Letting our audience get to know us. You know what I'm saying? And now I think we're ready to, expand the whole situation.
I mean, it's on. I mean, we already started getting real special guests that you guys will know who they are too. But like real and everybody. This is what I like about our guests. The guests that we have is not random. Like these are people that have stories. Right?
Yes. Yep.
You know what I mean? And people like we have some kind of bridge to.
Yep.
Somewhere. And these are all people that have great messages for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's really the key to the show anyway. We wanted to do a show where the message was the purpose. You know what I mean? And so
100%.
So that's our goal every episode is to try to just put some more wisdom out there. Like, I mean, we're not perfect. We know that.
Not at all.
Actually, I'm probably the furthest thing from, and what's funny is, I'll tell you something about that, and you could relate for sure, 100%. Every man that has a woman in their life can relate. When you get into an argument, what's the thing she goes to? Oh, you're perfect. I forgot you're perfect. It's like, no, trust me. You're more perfect than I am, for sure.
Right.
I'm not perfect, but they tell you that because they run out of things to say. So they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you're perfect. That's why you don't ever make mistakes. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
My entire life was that.
Yeah. I always, I came up with this little saying, there's no such thing as perfection, but I'm at least heading in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, in other words, I'm going to put forth my best effort on any and everything that I do. You only have to do something one time if you do it right. Now, you learn how to do it right by doing it wrong a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? But eventually you end up mastering it if you stick with it long enough. And that's kind of what I did in
100%.
life, in bodybuilding. Yeah. Like, the stuff that I talk about is stuff that I know. I don't believe, I didn't Google, I didn't use a study. This is stuff that, either I read and applied or heard and applied. So now I have primary knowledge about the subject matter.
Well, tell that to the people that keep commenting ridiculous shit on your post.
It's still hilarious because in this we have a platform. We're in a giving mode. This is free. We're not charging.
Yeah.
So
and we're not gonna charge.
Yeah. But when you do stuff, when you do interviews, right? So especially me, because I'm not a script dude. I can memorize lines. I took drama.
Yeah.
But the point is, when I'm talking or getting interviewed, I'm telling you straight from the hip, right? So it's hard to recall numbers and digits and dates and times because it was 30 plus years. But collectively, everything I speak is the truth because I lived it. I don't have to exaggerate. I don't have to lie. I don't have to, cap like people be saying. I'm just like, bro, we read books and then applied what we read. There was no Googling. There was no Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanted to know how to do something, you read the book, which the book didn't really guarantee that it was going to happen. It's just the methods that you applied. So, doing stuff like Arnold, 100 reps of chin-ups before every workout
as the warm-up.
So what would be the purpose of that? Well, if you know somebody that's 6'2", tall and skinny, they want to be wider. So how do you get wider? You can put on muscle, but your skeleton your clavicle is going to determine how really wide you can get, and then you add the muscle. So that's what I did. I was a skinny kid. The chin-ups, the weighted dips, the weighted chins, they forced my skeleton to react. And then over the years, I was able to put on the muscle. I went from wearing a 40-42 jacket to wearing a 58-60 jacket. And there's no formula to achieve that. And my waist was still 32. At the 40-42, my waist was 32. The 58-60, my waist was 32. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no formula for that. Yeah. That's the type of shit that you do and then be like, damn, I can't believe I did it. You know what I'm saying? It is unbelievable. It is, hard to believe or whatever, but it doesn't mean it's not true. Because it's obviously true because I actually lived it and achieved it.
Well, that's what I was going to say, right? The funny thing about your story, though, is that you can document it.
30 plus years.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like
even before internet.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a whole documented public history.
Right.
And all my friends and buddies, go ask anybody about Club 112, Diamond.
Yeah.
And they saw me go from 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother was the MC.
Yeah.
Ladies, are you ready for the 200 carat diamond? And I would walk out there 200 pounds. 2 weeks later, ladies, you ready for the 205 carat diamond? And then over the course of weeks, ladies, are you ready for the 240 carat diamond? You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally did it in front of their faces.
Right.
All the people that have ever watched me train or trained with me, they witnessed it. So I'm like, look at my wrist, bro.
Yeah. People don't believe it. I'm like, listen, man, like you guys are driving me crazy. Like, why do you think it didn't? Like, what? Okay, listen. Right? So let's say you don't believe it. Okay, why?
It's just cap.
Because you can't do it?
Right. Because you've never seen it. Because you can't Google it.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that the world record for weighted chins is 15 reps with a 100-pound strap to their waist. I'm like, do you think I was trying to go for a world record?
Yeah.
Back then, I'm just trying to be wide. I'm trying not to be skinny. I was literally J.J. Walker. Google J.J. Walker. I was literally J.J. Walker when I started bodybuilding.
Don't you have a post of when you started?
Yeah, when I was 18.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, 18, 155 pounds, 160 pounds, 150 pounds.
That's not Photoshop, man. No. Like, you didn't start off like Michael Hearn, where he was like 14 years old and he's like 200 pounds.
No.
You didn't start off.
I was a grown-ass man by the time I reached 200 pounds.
There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's different, man, and people just need to stop being so negative and be like, okay, listen, you did it? How?
Hello? That's what I would be asking. Instead of just dismissing
Just hating.
I mean, there's people out there who used to be zero broke that are billionaires right now. Yeah. Cap. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna say cap because I don't believe you.
Right.
I'm like, motherfucker, let me show you my bank account.
Let me show you, Let me show you how many zeros are in my bank account. You know what I mean?
It's so crazy. And like, no one, I mean, there's our people who exaggerate and lie out there, but they don't have proof. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally, I'm calling my friends that I came through the ranks with.
Yeah.
And the people when I was training with Dave, right? So Dave had hundreds and hundreds of clients. Mm-hmm. So I'm training.
Shout out to Dave Palumbo.
Dave Palumbo. I'm training with Dave. I'm doing Dave's diet. And you can ask Dave how many grams of carbs that we did, except for the refeed, right? So people don't believe that I was able to put on muscle without carbs, and I'm just like, I don't care if you don't believe it. I mean, I literally did it. I still have the freaking emails with all the diets on there, with the diet, the cycle, the food, the everything.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how, you hear someone's journey and then you completely dismiss it. And if you're not trying to learn, okay, if you're there just for entertainment, cool. But there's all kinds of superhuman shit going on right now. You ever see those dudes doing the the BMX and the motorcycle, and they jump and they let go of the bike and they still catch it.
And they do a backflip and catch it back in the middle.
That wasn't the first time they did that. You know how many times that they didn't make it?
Yeah, yeah.
To be able to have the balls to attempt it in public on film.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's the part of all of this stuff like that's on the internet. You post something. It's like, people don't realize like you're posting to help. You're not posting to boast. Like,
no,
do you know what I mean? Like, but that's what they see, though. I think that's.
So I'm sitting back and you ask me a question. I don't even have time to come up with nothing other than the answer to the question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see. What can I say to sound?
Yeah.
You know,
sound intelligent.
Just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Well, it's, it is what it is. I mean, it's the world we live in, and there's going to always be people like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, if they watch long enough, they'll start to realize, oh, you know what? I remember Tony said this a year ago when I read his post and I wrote this. Now it makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you got to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to be.
And, I think we need to definitely talk about Chris Seabum competing in the
100.
Yeah,
now,
second.
I'll be perfectly honest. I saw a little bit. I didn't watch the whole show.
Yeah.
And it could have went either way. I think if they had let him win, it wouldn't have hurt nobody's feelings, even Martin's.
Yeah.
But I also believe that they're judging open because now we have criteria for each category. So Martin is more of the criteria. Just slightly. So I'm happy for Chris. I'm trying to figure out, is he going, you retired from classic, are you going to go open? I mean, he's only 30 years old?
Yeah, he's young.
I mean, he definitely ain't doing it for the money.
No, he's got a bunch of businesses. He's good.
He just signed with Jim Shark.
Yeah.
He got his own brand.
Yeah.
He's the most popular bodybuilder in history. So
he's got like 25 million followers too. Something crazy
so
like that.
he's definitely not doing it for the money.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what happens though when you have all that going on? You have so much time. You look at what do you do?
Well, again, he's only 30.
Yeah. He's
so
young.
if he went, he got kids and all that now.
Well, he's got one, and he wants to get one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would just pause, have another kid. And again, I turned pro at 36, so
you got to push it.
He can pause for a minute and come back.
One thing the only thing I really noticed that would give Martin the bump was that he had more muscle, but that's because he's way shorter too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you could tell he was carrying more muscle.
Yep.
So if the judges were like, all right, this is a bodybuilding show, not classic and not anything else. So bodybuilding, how much muscle you carry on that stage is one of the highest, criteria. So I remember when I would judge bodybuilding, it was always like, okay, how much muscle are you in? What's the condition of the muscle? What's the symmetry? And obviously the posing routine and stuff that, the displaying. So when I was watching him, Chris's routine was great. I mean, he did his routine.
Oh, yeah, routine. He looks amazing in the poses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like statuesque.
Yeah.
When he hits that side chest, that's one of the best side chests I've seen since Arnold.
Yeah.
And his conditioning is on point.
Yeah.
He has his tears and his flaws, but I mean, he's put together.
No.
I'm saying he's put together very well.
Yeah.
Very charismatic, and
and people love him.
Yeah.
It helps, and he puts butts in the seats, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like people will go see him.
100%.
So,
and that's really the thing.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, when you go to a football game, you're going there to watch a certain player
pay them
that you
tickets,
like.
pay for them seats.
Right.
I went to go see Justin Timberlake the other night.
How was that?
He was freaking amazing, bro.
How old is that kid?
I don't know. He's got to be 40-something,
He's been
though.
around forever.
But he was hitting them moves, and he sounded amazing.
Yeah.
The crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
So he had a few songs that I didn't know, but most of the songs I recognized.
Yeah, from the 90s.
He that was awesome.
Yeah.
He's one of the few people that I would actually pay money to see perform.
Who was also with him?
Nobody.
He was just the whole.
No, he had a DJ.
Oh,
so the DJ was playing like all kinds of
really
good music. Everybody was dancing.
Yeah.
I was on my phone. I'm just like, whatever. And waiting on Justin. So then he comes out, and then it was just like, man, he really tore it up.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been to his. I tell you, the only time I seen him was way back in the day when NSYNC was a thing.
Yeah.
I took my little sister.
Oh, wow.
And it was, bro, I was deaf.
Oh yeah,
because
them
it was
girls
me,
screaming.
It was me standing there.
Them decibels was getting you.
Oh, dude, it was little girls like everywhere, and they were screaming the entire time.
Yeah, none of them was talking the next day.
No, I was deaf. I was like, all I heard was that whistling sound, you know, that you hear when you go to a club, and it's like that for like 2 days. I was like, I think I got damaged, man. But that's all they did was just scream the whole time. But even that show, I was like, you know what? They're actually performing like a show.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
So him, Bruno Mars, of course Prince and Michael Jackson, but they're gone.
Oh, yeah.
So Bruno Mars and him is the two people that, if I hear they coming, I'm going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Man, I'm so mad at myself for not being able to go see Prince.
Oh, you never seen Prince? Oh, wow.
Didn't get a chance.
I think I seen him like 3 times.
Well, no, I never seen him perform.
Right.
But actually, when I was doing the modeling in New York, he was at a Fashion Week. He would come to Fashion Week, you know, pretty often.
Right.
But I got a chance to meet him, and it was like an after party at the after the show, and he was there, and he was hanging out with us. Dude,
I almost would trade that for seeing him in concert.
Bro, it was cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people, I'm like, look, if we had these things back then, I would have so much cool footage hanging out with all these like celebrities and shit.
I sure wish I had a camera phone when I was doing my sets of 20 with 405.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have no way to document it back then.
I remember there was a video, and it's still definitely on YouTube for sure. When people were saying that you don't weigh 300 pounds, or it was like something like that, and you literally walked to the scale, you know, got on the scale, and you were like,
yeah, or my waist. Oh, is your waist really that big? Here's the tape measure.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
measure me, man.
I'm already exaggerated. I'm already fucking blowing your mind.
Yeah.
Why do I got to like add words to it?
Yeah.
You already tripping when I walked in the room.
Right.
Why do I have to exaggerate? Why do I got to say something that's not true to impress you?
Right.
You already tripping. You already grabbed your girl and pulled her close.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look like that, like, who cares what you weigh?
Right. Well, I mean, you know, it's like, it's just numbers. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
numbers.
Like my arms, I wanted 23-inch arms just because I probably knew I couldn't ever achieve it. Yeah. I got to 22 7/8, and I had to live with it. I remember I took a picture of it and I posted it and I said 23, and the dude, you could see the tape measure. You said, nope, that's 2. You said, nope, still 22. I was like,
he zoomed in.
But you know, I was like, you got me on that one. Hey man,
listen, you got me on that one. He was like, nope. But you know, that's also fuel. Like, he's right. Yeah, I got to go back and do some more curls.
That one more eighth of an inch.
That's right.
So a lot has happened since the last event,
bro.
I mean, the last show, last podcast.
Yeah. We own everything. Thank the Lord.
Right.
In heaven.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting next 4 years. Yeah. So
And, you know what I'm excited about is that all of the people that think that this is bad will see that this is great.
What are they basing it on?
Well, only because of what they're listening to.
They're basing it on lies that they were told. Yeah. And I've found, you know, because I'm a YouTuber. Yeah. And I found so many videos of people saying, damn, I was hating this man, but you know, and I went back and watched the whole thing, and you know, editing, just, you know, when you release a reel and you put in the parts to get people to click on it, and then you don't have the context to go with it, people just run with that because they don't want to spend more than 90 seconds doing any research or confirming anything that, you know, that the person said, and they just run with it, and then they spread it, right, and then see, I told you, and then you end up with a bunch of people that are misinformed and just delusional because they don't really have the facts. You know, when you have experience, like you and I, we talk about, you know, the last 25, 30, almost 40 years for me, that dude's been the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen him really deviate from, he been talking shit the whole time. He been cracking jokes the whole time. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, hey man, if I know you're a snake, then I'm cool. But I don't want, you know, if you're beguiling me with words, and then you show me something else, then I'm pissed. I'd much rather, you know, stay my distance. I don't got to like you or dislike you. Yeah. And that's how I look at life.
Exactly. But I mean, that's what it is. You can't go through life trying to like people. like trying to make yourself like somebody. You know, you either like them or you don't. Like it's like you said, it's you got to be open minded. You know, like I think this is the difference between like us and the left that just one dimensional, right? We looked at both.
Yeah, 100.
like legit. I mean, we talked about this. Like we're not people. People again. Are you Republican or you? I'm not.
I've been in the middle my whole life.
Right. I'm central, man. But I also look at what I'm looking at, and I go, okay, which one of these is going to make life better? Okay, this one can't even talk, and she avoids anything public, and this one talks too much sometimes, but he actually gives a fuck so much about this country.
I look at it as if, who would you rather have blocking for you? You know what I'm saying?
Well.
You know what I'm saying? Like you already know what this, it's stacked up. You got World War III, you got inflation, you got all these things stacked up. And I'm just like, who would you rather have dealing with it? And people always say, he's a narcissist. And I'm like, well, if my narcissist, their number one objective is their legacy to be, I'm the one that fixed all the boosts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
save the world.
Run it, player.
Yeah.
Run it.
Yeah, and you're talking about somebody who he's literally has no agenda because he's not thinking like after the 4 years, how can I make more money?
Right. No, he's
good. People need to forget, like stop, like think. You got to see the whole thing. The whole thing means that you're talking about a guy who's already famous, who's got more money than anybody. You know what I mean? Like he's got plenty of money where he's never gonna have to worry about money. He's already famous. Yep. So why would what is
he's already messed up? Is more than most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Publicly. Publicly.
Yep.
And
he's still standing.
He's still
dodging bullets and shit.
And that's the thing, man. Like we always talk about like persistence.
Yep.
That boy, it didn't even faze him. They hit him with like how many 30, 40 counts of felony counts, and he's like, all right, cool. I'm still gonna run for president.
Right. Sitting there like, anything else?
Yeah. He's like, that's all you got?
Wow.
40? Give me some more. You know what I mean? But then, like it didn't do nothing. Like they wanted to make him depressed, where he's like he's gonna go out there and not be himself. They backfired.
Usually when the world is coming down on you, when it feels like the world is caving in on you, it's because you either doing something right or you're trying to do something right. You know what I'm saying? Right. That lets me know. I used to have this saying when it's going, I'm almost at the bottom of the barrel, I get excited because I'm like, I can't go no lower than this. Yeah. It's got to get better. Yeah. And usually it just goes right up. And then when it gets too good, I'm like, oh, let me be careful because I know that it can only get worse. You know what I mean? Right. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So ebb and flow, yin and yang. It's always gonna balance itself out.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think also what his job title is. His job title is not to go out there and he's not a dating coach. You know what I mean? Like
that's right.
You know what I mean? Like he's not a dating coach.
Yeah.
His only objective is to fix this country because he cares about this country so much because the country gave him so much.
Right.
He gave his father so much.
Yeah.
And people go, well, he was bankrupt and he didn't, he wasn't successful. Like, what are you talking about?
I filed bankruptcy and had a 840 credit score. I've done both.
Right. But that doesn't mean you're not successful.
Right.
That means you went through life and you took chances. You took shots.
Yep.
Some shots landed, some did not. But you know what? You stand out because you actually took a chance. Most people are like, no, I'm cool. I'm going to stay right here where the line is. I'm not going to cross this line because I don't know. I might fail.
Right.
But there's groups like us where we go, listen, we going.
Gotta.
And we're going to push to make it. If we fail 10 times along the way, guess what? We're still going to keep moving.
You got to keep
moving.
And
then it happens. And that's, I think, if people realize, like, if you have a goal and you don't give up on that goal and you're just constantly going after that thing, as long as you're moving forward and you don't quit, you're going to get there. You know what I mean? Like, don't get discouraged because it didn't work out the first 5 times, first 10 times. Who knows? It's all timing too, man. It's who you run into, it's who like, I mean, Chase, if I would have met Chase back then, it would have been our timing. But it didn't happen that way.
Right.
It was all timing.
Yep.
And if people would just not quit, they would get to their goal. Whatever that goal is, man. You look at anybody.
As long as the goal is realistic. I mean, if your goal is winning the lottery, you might.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not.
No. I'm just saying, but that's how some people think.
Right.
Deals,
just keep buying tickets.
Yeah, we got New Year's resolutions coming up, and a lot of people they approach a New Year's resolution by saying, I want to lose 50 pounds, right? And then, they're 50 pounds overweight, so they really don't know how to lose 50 pounds, but they're focused on losing the 50 pounds instead of losing 40, 1 pound, then 2 pounds, then 3, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the approach that you should take mentally. But most people, January 2nd, they're in the gym, they do, an hour of cardio, and then they do chest, shoulders, tries, and buys, then they go home and they're all sore prepared. Then tomorrow they get out of bed and they go and then they try to do legs or back or something. Yeah. And then by day 5, they're so broken down and sore. And then next week something happened. Oh, I missed the gym today. I couldn't go today. Oh, tomorrow. And then back to the regular.
What do they say? Like 2 weeks is the
it's like
it's 2 weeks, right?
It's back to the regular.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, and then like, everybody has a membership. Everybody got their membership, and everybody got their trainers and all that shit.
How many more sets you got, bro?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like exactly. The gym's so packed.
yeah, exactly. You're like, what time can I come when there's nobody here?
Right.
But it's only 2 weeks, man. And after that, it's like these people just drop off. Yeah. Like you give up, And they go right back to it, and then they go, I don't know, I tried.
Right.
Like, no, you didn't. That's not trying. You started.
So when I take on a new client, I take them back to ABCs.
Yeah.
Most people they just want to skip over and just go straight to the. I'm like, no, we're gonna focus on your consistency first. So I need you to show up every day. I need you to eat. If we're doing nutrition, sometimes people just train. They don't do nutrition. Right. But I'm like, we got to get you. You got to work on your consistency first. Mm-hmm. I have the knowledge and wisdom. You have to put forth the effort. Mm-hmm. So consistency is going to get the result. What I'm sharing with you, the results is already there. It's in the formula, but you have to apply it. And so I focus on getting them consistent. So when we first working out, I start them off with like maybe pushing and pulling the sled, stuff like that, to get them in condition. So I say I'm gonna get you in shape, so you can get in shape. We're not gonna get in shape. We're gonna get in shape to get in shape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta do the process. I'm learning how to trade, right? I'm not gonna take a whole bunch of money and start trading and learn how to trade how most people learn.
Right.
I'm getting somebody that's actually very successful, teaching me. Right. And I'm gonna take how many ever months it takes to learn what's going on, to learn how to read the market. Then I'll start actually trading.
Yeah, but that's the smart way of doing it. You start and you keep moving. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how it is. People just, I think for me, the biggest thing when I was doing training and all that, my biggest thing to everybody I worked with, don't quit.
Yep.
I know it's going to be discouraging. Yep. You're in your mind, you want to look like Chris Bumstead.
Right.
Where you're not taking into accountability how much work that guy's put in.
Right.
For how many years. And, sacrifices. And, it's just.
So when you see somebody like Chris or even me back in the day or whatever, I used to laugh. So I remember one time I was walking into an event.
Yeah.
And it was in the Georgia Dome, whatever, right? So I'm walking across the street, me and a friend of mine. So he's like 300 and I'm like 300. So there's a group,
you stood out.
There's a group of guys. They look like they worked at the spot. Like I'm gonna say janitors, but they might not have been janitors. I ain't knocking on them.
They worked at the spot.
So, but me and him, we're walking in the building, mind our own business.
Yeah.
So one of them yells out, "Steroids!" And I turn and look, and I see all these fat dudes. I'm like, "Beer belly!" And then I walked into the building. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, That's not saying that we wasn't taking nothing.
Right.
I'm just saying,
but why
if you
say
think
that?
But if you think that that's all it is to it, then you're an idiot.
Like, listen, I'll give you all the stuff I'm taking, and I'll give you all the time you want. Let's see if you look like this. Like, I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
It's so much more. There's so many variables. It's not even.
No.
That's why it's only a few people. Mm-hmm. That's why somebody like a Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath, Dexter Jackson can be so dominant.
Yeah.
Because number one, they're 1 in a billion, literally. Yeah. And then their work ethic, their tenacity. I remember Dexter told me one day, and it kind of messed with me, right? Mm-hmm. He said, T, we all know you have what it takes. But the question is, do you have the heart to do what it takes? And I'm just like, fuck.
Next.
So when he told me that shit, that's when I just really went in.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, I'm not even going to say that it came easy, but I am a hyper responder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've done some superhuman type stuff in my life and was amazed at it. You know what I'm saying? But I was relentless with it. I mean, I literally went from, and we talked about this, I went from inspired to motivated to consistent to dedicated to obsessed to possessed. You know what I'm saying? Like I went through all those phases. And you don't get to be top 5 in the world at anything unless you get to that point in your life. I ain't, not the possessed part, but obsessed, but obsessed. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the thing about bodybuilding, people don't realize, I mean, it's a taboo sport. Well, it's more mainstream now than ever. Right. But, you know.
It's only taboo because they allowed it to go freak show.
Right.
They allowed it to go Barnes and Bailey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it got
we went from the golden era Arnold, everybody. I remember back in the day, first getting the magazines, you could flip through the magazine. There'd be 25 people in there that you would love to trade bodies with. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you start off thinking quality, because that's all, back in the day, that's all it was quality. From the littlest dudes to the biggest dudes. I mean, Lou Ferrigno had a small waist with a flat stomach.
Man, he was 6'5".
You know what I'm saying?
300 pounds.
Ralph Moeller. I mean, there's so many dudes that were really huge. And then a few freaks start showing up. And they were amazing, but it wasn't, they were like the sore thumb.
Right.
And then eventually it's just, the freaks almost dominated the stage.
Yeah.
Then it got to the point where it was just all freaks.
That's it.
And I'm just like, people want to pay to see the freak, but they don't want to be the freak. If you're Mr. Olympia and no one wants to trade bodies with you or look like you, then you've jacked up. You have done something wrong. So keeping it in perspective of what the sport is, art, making art. And if you look at Samson, the way he talks, the way he presents, he's making art. He's 330 plus pounds, which is crazy to me. But that Nigerian genetic, that Nigerian DNA is no joke. And he all he talks about is art.
Yeah.
I'm like, 340 pounds of art. That's
you
what's
feel
up.
like with Samson, like when you hear him speak, you feel like he's all in.
Yes.
Like he's locked in.
He's all in.
Because when I listen to him speak, it's like I'm talking to somebody that I can just even through the video, I'm like, this guy's all in.
Yep. You gotta be though.
But it shows that he's all in too. You know what I mean? But you're like, oh, he's mentally there.
Yep.
Which is why he's physically there.
And guess what? No one's given him anything. No. He's literally had to take it all.
Yeah.
Like literally, physically. Damn, I didn't get it this time.
Kind of reminds me of Ronnie.
Damn, I didn't get it this time.
Does it remind you of Ronnie?
Shoot, Ronnie got 9th place
yes.
He got 9th place the year before he won. They were still.
Yeah, didn't he go from like 16th to like...
Well, he was 16th in Olympia, but I'm saying the year before he won.
Yeah.
So 97?
Yeah.
He got 9th.
And then he won first. He went from 9th to first. Yeah. Holy shit, man.
Exactly. And I went from 14th to 5th, which is questionable if I should have been higher or not. But the point is, it can happen. Yeah. But it was a mental thing. Yeah. It physically was not much different. Yeah. You know, I didn't like up the dosage and all that type of stuff. It was my mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like the year before, 07, won the Ironman, won the Sacramento, top 3 at the Arnold. So I'll flip open the magazine. They're expecting Tony Freeman to be top 4 at the Mr. Olympia, right? Yeah. I'm like, wow. So that year, I was doing sets of 25 on everything. No shit. I mean, there's a guy who trained with me. His name is Gerald Williams. If you don't believe me, hit him up. Gerald Williams will tell you, because he was looking at me like it was crazy. But we started the first day. We went in there and we basically picked the weight that we could do 12 reps with, and then we added reps until we got to 25. And I never increased the weight. I would do my sets of 25 on everything. And I really the premise or the reason why is so 4 to 8 reps they say is for hypertrophy. In other words, it's gonna make your muscle fibers bigger. There's a level that you have to push past to get to so you got hypertrophy and then hyperplasia. Hyperplasia means, damn it, I got to make some more muscle fibers, not just bigger muscle fibers. I need more. So we basically set out to create hyperplasia. Now, did we know we was going to do it or whatever? So that's back in the day. That's why they call Amin the mad scientist. You know what I'm saying? Because we was like, okay, we're going to do 25 reps. We're going to eat 10 meals a day. And we did. I did it. Yeah. Now, I ended up pushing myself.
10 meals? Did you say 10 meals?
10 meals a day. Now, they weren't crazy huge. It was just.
Was it every 2 hours, 3 hours?
It was the feeding timing of it. Yeah. So I couldn't get 10 every day. Yeah. But I'm saying we said we're going to do 10.
That's work in itself, man.
You say you're going to do 10 and you get 8 or you get 7. Sometimes you get 10.
Right.
Whatever. The point is,
the goal was 10.
We were trying to push past hypertrophy and go into hyperplasia. Like I was going to the clinic doing blood work and all that. I didn't do any biopsies or nothing like that. Yeah. But I was able to really grow some hard, dense muscle because you have to understand, I went in 05, I was 265, 275. Yeah. 06, I got over 300. That was all still liquid muscle. Mm-hmm. So I took 06, 07, 08. By the time I got to 08, it was solid.
Yeah.
But shoot, the morning, so prejudging in 08, the 08 Olympia, where everybody said that was my best, I was like 272 maybe. Mm-hmm. The next morning I woke up, I was 261.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm in Vegas, so you got the desert, then you got the diuretic.
Right.
I woke up that morning, I was like, how the hell am I 260 anything? Mm-hmm. So I was like, I had an idea. So I got up, called the clinic, said I'm coming in for a colonic. I did a slow fill, what they call it. I didn't go get cleaned out. I just got a slow fill of water. Laid on the table, I was 262 or something. I got off the table, I was like 273. So I gained 11 pounds laying on the table of water, fluid.
Yeah.
Then I didn't drink nothing else the rest of the day, and I ate like, I don't know how many times, because the show was like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I did this at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I ate all day. And by that night, I was like in 280s.
Damn.
Yeah. And so
that's crazy. That is some mad science
Saturday night after the final, Steve Blackman came up to me. He was like, dude, you look like you did 2 years worth of improvements
in 7 hours
from yesterday to today. I was just like, yeah, it kind of. But I mean, I looked so crazy all the way up to the show.
Yeah.
It's just like I say, my weakest link, I guess, was trying to get the water where it's supposed to be, and being tall. A gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. Mm-hmm. So I had a 17-pound swing, like basically 2 gallons of fluid would either come on my body or leave off my body. You know what I'm saying?
That's significant.
Yeah, 1 year experimenting with injectable Lasix. I lost 17 pounds in 9 hours. That was crazy.
That's scary, man.
That was very scary. So in other words, all these things, I definitely don't recommend anything. But it just goes to show you how all in I was. We would do whatever it took.
Yeah, don't mess with diuretics, man. Once
I speak on them because I want people to understand how they're dangerous. And I'm talking micro doses for me. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't killing them, but I'm sensitive. And so it is what it is. I learned that I was sensitive. That's how I learned. I mean, I remember I tried Lasix when I first, like a little 10 milligram pill. Yeah. Oh my God, that locked my whole body up. I couldn't even walk.
You couldn't cramps.
Just couldn't even do anything. So I was just like trying to figure out how to get full and dry, because they always be, you got to be drier. You got to be drier. Right. And I'm just like, oh damn.
The bad thing about those diuretics is that once they pull all the blood, all the water out of the muscle, it starts going to your heart, your organs. 100%.
Yeah, I talked to the nurse after that. She said, Mr. Freeman, you was pulling intercellular water, because it ain't that much water, intramuscularly. I'm like, I know.
Well, we've had a lot of bodybuilders die from just diuretics.
Well, they really dying from dehydration, which caused by diuretics, but it's more electrolyte imbalance as well. So it's a combination of the two. Super, super dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't help, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's, again, man, I love talking about this kind of stuff because people don't talk about this stuff.
Well, you know what I mean? I think
the best part is, like, I could talk to you about it from what I know. Mm-hmm. You could talk about it from what you've done.
Right.
It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, and then being in the position that I was in, of course, coming through I bodybuilt through 3 eras, damn near 4.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? And so as you get more popular, You know, you're the whole world is looking at you.
Yeah.
So I started getting all these people from all over the world was hitting me up.
Yeah.
And you know, we did a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of experimental type shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to achieve what we was trying to achieve.
As close to perfection as possible.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not. There's no such thing as perfection, but I'm heading that direction.
Yeah.
And when you have the drive, and then you know, like you're getting this information from other people who have experience as well.
Right.
So I had my experience with my body, and then other people's experience with coaching other people and themselves. And so I was able to take all that information, apply it. I kept what suited me, and I got rid of what didn't, and we saw the result.
Yeah, man, that's you know, I think for men it's really important to get in the gym and go through that, not to compete or anything like that, but just working out should be part of every man's life.
Every human's life.
Right, but I say men because I'm trying I'm just talking about men right now, but every person needs it. But the reason I think every man should have a workout regimen in their lifestyle is because that teaches you discipline like nothing else. That teaches you drive like nothing else because you go in there and some days you don't want to go, but those are the days
those are the best workouts.
Go. You gotta go.
Those are the best workouts.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you gotta go on the days that you gotta go, that you're gonna go, that you want to go because you're like, man, excited about getting that pump and everything. Go. But the days that you don't want to go and you're just like, maybe I'll fuck that. That's the day you gotta go. And you know, you do enough of those days where you don't want to go and you still do it.
That builds character.
Man, that builds you strong.
Yeah.
So like mental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that
the other day, yesterday, matter of fact. Yeah. So you know, I trained Tammy for the show.
Yeah.
So I've been gone since last Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna train at the gym when I got to the show.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So missed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Then I come home on Sunday. I'm watching football. I didn't go. Then yesterday Monday we worked.
Yep.
And so yesterday I was like, I got to go to the gym and I didn't feel like going.
Right.
But I went. I think I did 10 sets of chest and left. But because all I want to do is get my consistency back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I just get my consistency back, then, you know, then it'll fall back into place. And so when you fall off the wagon or whatever you want to call it, just return to that mindset. Even if, like I say, my wife was like, damn, that was quick. I was like, I just had to go. You know what I'm saying? I just had to go and do it. So now I'm back on track.
Right.
So.
Right. No, I mean, that's what I tell everybody I work with, man, you know, with our other health consultant business. You know, I'm like, look, you need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, and don't try to do it at home because, you know, some people can do it at home because they have the discipline. They'll do it at home. But I'm like, no, I want you to get in your car, drive through traffic, get to the gym, work out, drive back home. I want you to experience that.
Yep.
Because every bit of that journey is going to make you better and stronger and, you know, mentally stronger and everything.
Yeah. Part of that going to the gym thing is you get to feed off the other people's energy in the gym. You get to get inspired by other people's work ethic. You know, like at my gym, you know, I'm there training people, I'm there training myself. So I see the members and all the ones that they're there almost every time I go. I mean, they're so consistent. I don't even know half of their names, but I speak to them. You know what I'm saying? We speak. It's like a camaraderie, and I'm just like that motivates me to see that person being consistent. Yeah. So I think that's the beauty of having these gyms like we have. You know, back in the day when we was training in the old dungeon style gyms, it was just us. That's why bodybuilding bodybuilding was like such a, like you say, taboo sport.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like everyone. And you know, I was coached by Wes Watson for a little bit, and he talks about becoming the best version of yourself. So your family, your friend, everybody's going to respect it when they see you go from, you know, where you were to where you are. And then my people have seen me go from where I was to where I went back to you know what I'm saying? Like this is my third or fourth go around of taking 5 years off from training. And so when I'm not eating. I'm eating 1 or 2 meals a day. I'm not taking any chemistry other than maybe a little TRT.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to the gym. I'm doing circuit training and walking around the park. Yeah. Well, I can't expect to be jacked under them circumstances. Right. And it was a mental thing. It wasn't like I quit on myself. It's just mentally, because number one, I know what it takes to get results. So it almost felt like a waste of time going to the gym, training with no intensity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like really, if you're trying to get results, it is a waste of time. Yeah. But if you're just trying to be consistent and be healthy, then it's fine.
Yeah.
So intensity is what's make the difference. And a lot of people, they don't know what intensity is. And my definition, intensity, especially when it's talking about working out, is more work in less time. So some people count it as, going to failure and all that type of stuff. How can I get more work in less time? So I used to still do, like my shoulder routine. I'll do, 5 sets of military press or hammer strength press, and then I'll do.
We do 5 sets of what? How many reps? 25?
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really count. 10 to 20.
You go till it becomes.
So I do a warm up, like just many reps as I can for the first set, and then I'll just, depending on how that felt and went, I'll just add a little bit. And then a lot of times, especially now, because I'm not super strong, I'm only eating a couple times a day. Yeah. So I'll put, 5, 4, how many ever 10s will fit on the thing. I'm doing Smith machine too, or hammer strength.
Right.
So I think on hammer strength, 5 10s will fit on there. So that's not a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Not a lot. It's like 50 pounds, 60 pounds.
Right.
But I'll do, 10 reps, take off a plate, 10 reps, take off a plate. So I end up doing 50 reps. And then I'll go do laterals where I'll do down the rack, where I go 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 17 and a half, 15, 12 and a half.
Do you just
10.
go up in reps?
No, I do 10 reps.
Oh, 10 all the way down?
10 reps. So it ended up being like 100, 130 reps.
So you start at the 50s and do 10 all the way down the rack.
Yeah, all the way to the 5s.
I got to try that.
It's insane.
That sounds like fun.
It's insane. Then I got another one where I'm seated, and I do front raises.
Yeah.
I do rear, and then I do side, and then I do like 4 more moves where I'm just doing different variations. And that's like 70, 80 reps. Yeah, so but you only got to do 2 sets of that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You do down the rack.
500 reps.
Do down the rack once.
Yeah.
And then do maybe that. It's over. You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
So I
How long does that take? A routine like that? Like an hour?
Well, if I'm working out with somebody, about an hour.
But less.
But if it's just me, if I'm just doing it myself, it's so quick. It's like, the 5 sets of presses take way longer. The down the racks is like, it's nonstop. Yeah, so it's literally, I don't know, 180 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
And then the other one is probably about 90 seconds.
Yeah. And what's so crazy about that? The reason I say that is because people go to the gym. They're like, I go to the gym 2 hours a day. Like, you're
not talking. Working. You're on the phone in between sets.
Exactly.
So so the high volume thing, right?
Yeah.
And so when I say reps, I never really counted reps unless I was doing something specific where I'm trying to, I'm doing something unilateral and I want to balance it out, or like if I had phases where I set the reps and I did 25 on everything because that's where my head was.
Yeah.
So, but over the years, I just tried literally everything. You know what I'm saying? When I turned pro and I went to go do my first photo shoot with Flex and Muscular Development, so they would tell me they would set up the photo. We're gonna do. I know you remember in Flex magazine they would do a feature article with Ronnie or Lee Priest,
and you had the 200-pound dumbbells,
or Nasser else. Different athlete, different NPC shirt, same workout,
same workout,
the same arm, same. Everybody did the same shit. So the first time I got with Chris Lund, we did that, and then like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I get a phone call from Weeders. I'm like, oh, what's up? Hey Tony, this is such and such. I'm the writer for your article. I'm here to ask you some questions, about your workout. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I started telling him my workout. Yeah. And he was like, hold up. I don't have pictures of that. I was like, okay. Well, I'm like, what do you mean? He said, no, I need you to tell me about the photo shoot pictures, the pictures that we have. Oh. And I was just like, man, I don't do that shit. I was just posing. You know what I'm saying?
They told me to hold it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I got 8 plates on the T-bar row, but it's a dumbbell up under the plates, holding up the plate. All I got to do is pick it up like 2 inches and hold it. I mean, I was posing. That wasn't training. That ain't what I do.
Holy shit.
So from that photo shoot on, when they would call me and say, I said, well, we're doing a photo shoot of what I do.
Right.
I'm not doing a photo shoot of some ghostwriter's
stage.
I said, because I tore my pec during a Dorian Yates workout. And now I'm finding out that wasn't even Dorian Yates' workout.
Oh.
You feel me? I'm following it because it's Dorian, but it ain't his workout. And I thought it was weird because he went from incline to decline.
Oh.
Right?
That's weird.
And so I'm just like, following his workout, trying to be like Dorian, and fucking tore my damn pec.
Whose workout was it? Did you ever find out?
Whose what?
Did you figure out whose workout it was?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a ghostwriter. They just basically, he did a photo shoot of these exercises.
Right.
Right? They wrote the article.
Right.
I read the magazine and go do the article.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I remember those it's not what we really did.
Right.
Not what I really did. I used to tell people all the time, if you look at all the videos, all the magazines after that first one, that was what I really do.
Right.
And so I can't, you have to understand when you're in the limelight like that, you almost can't really be a successful liar. You can lie, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You can exaggerate and all that, but people gonna call you on it. So when you're doing crazy stuff, you just tell them what you did because it's already crazy. And if you think it's, I always tell people, and I had to tell a few people, I went from, like I say, a 42 jacket to a 58.
Right.
I didn't have the formula. I didn't write it out and then do it.
Right.
I did it and said, wow. And that's how you end up. I got a friend who has 47 businesses. I know he didn't say, I'm going to have 47 businesses, in the beginning.
Yeah.
He bought one, then he bought another one, then he bought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And I could say cap. I could say, I don't believe you. But then I see his 80-foot yacht go by.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got the resume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I have to say,
he's got the resume. Dude, I got this, so I switching over to something I want to mention before we get too crazy.
Cool.
I had a dude message me, and he wanted to know our opinion on how to handle a breakup.
Okay. Well, with no context?
So he goes, he's been with this chick 4 years.
Okay.
And he was kind of at crossroads of, should I marry her? Should I not marry her? Mm-hmm. Too many red flags. His parents were like, we think it's a mistake. Mm-hmm. Like it's not good. This woman is not right for you.
Right.
So he's like, I had a talk with her about it. She went off on him.
Mm-hmm.
She went off on.
So wait, no, he went to go talk to his woman.
He talked to
about how he felt.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, look, we're 4 years in. We're kind of like, but they knew each other from before, so their relationship was a lot longer. It's kind of like you and Kelly. They go back further, but they were like living together all in 4 years. And he goes, yeah. So I was carrying this with me, so I wanted to talk to her, and she just went off on him. She went off on him. She went off on his parents.
Yeah.
She went he went out.
So now just you gave me that little bit of context. Yeah. Thank you and good night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you basically she answered his question.
Right.
So I'm not a relationship expert.
Right.
Right. Me and Kelly been through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And we still together.
Yeah.
Right?
How many years? 27?
92. 20? So what is that? 38?
Yeah. Damn, son. That's crazy. Yeah.
So anyway, if you, I'm not religious, but I'm biblical. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised in the church and all that, so I have a religious background.
Right.
But God ordained a woman to be man's helpmeet, and the very first commandment is not the 10 Commandments, is be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
So the way you can tell if a woman is for you or not, and I'm not talking about having kids because a lot of people think multiply. Multiply does mean have children,
right?
But it really means multiply, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And so I'll give you a perfect example. And I really hadn't seen it in action, or maybe I did. I just wasn't paying attention. My son and his wife. I used to train them together. She was his client, and they used to work out together, and I saw them together. But they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, so I was like, whatever. Yeah. But then as soon as they became boyfriend and girlfriend, she multiplied him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she basically, took everything, the relationship, like getting to know each other, and says, this is my man. And because she had her own thing. Mm-hmm. So she basically attached, they attached themselves to each other, and all his weaknesses, a lot of it was her strengths. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so they literally just multiplied. And I was just like, that's what the Bible's talking about, being equally yoked and multiplying. Mm-hmm. And they do have 3 kids, so they're multiplying in multiple ways. But they made their first $1 million together. Mm-hmm. They got their own brand together. Mm-hmm. They're together 24/7. Right. And I'm like, that's what you're looking for. So in other words, if that ain't what you're looking for, right, you ain't gonna get it. You have to not settle. I'm a perfect guy. My wife knows I love her, but if I had this mentality, I might not have picked her. I might have waited years and years because I would have had an idea of what I really wanted, but I didn't. I wanted the love. I wanted to. When me and Kelly first got together, I was messing with so many women I couldn't even keep count. But I never wanted to be with them for extended amount of time, our time together, and then I'm out. When I got with her, it was like, man, I just like being under the same roof. It was just feels so good. It was, I don't know, I can't even really explain it. It was different. Yeah. And like I say, I had a lot to compare it to at the time. Mm-hmm. And so then, I told her, I'm like, I got a bunch of bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that dude. I'm a stripper. I'm a bouncer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that dude.
You're out there.
Right? I said, but if you could tolerate me, then that's it. So I said I'm not a one-woman man. I told her straight up. And over the years, I let go of the flesh, of the lust of the flesh, and now I'm monogamous, happily married, blah blah blah. But it wasn't always like that.
It didn't start off like that.
But it didn't start off like that. Yeah. I had to grow into that. Yeah. And I didn't leave her in the dark. I did tell her. Mm-hmm. And again, like we talk about Trump and all. I said I wasn't out there chasing women. Mm-hmm. I was being chased by women, and sometimes I, didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. So not making excuses, but I'm saying I can confess that. I confessed all that to God. Mm-hmm. I confessed all my sins to all my family and loved ones. Told them, it seemed like it would have been embarrassing, but just like you said earlier, I couldn't hold it in. No. I'm like, I've been carrying this shit around for decades. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being the way I was, and I don't want to be that dude no more. So if I confess my sins to you, if you see me doing that shit again, you can be like, yo, dog, I thought you said you didn't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I did. I put myself out there. Mm-hmm. And so now I can look my parents in the face, everybody, they see I'm a changed man. Mm-hmm. I'm not pretending.
That's right. It's not pretending anymore. Well, that's what I told him too. I said, look, you have to be realistic. Yeah. You've been with her long enough. I don't know her, but you know her. Mm-hmm. You've been with her long enough. If you're questioning what you're questioning right now, you already know the answer.
Yep. And then she confirmed.
Right. And I was like, and for her to handle it in that way, insult you, insult your parents, bro, what else do you need? I'm like, what you need to do is, it's gonna hurt. Mm-hmm. You're gonna break up. Mm-hmm. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be rough. Yep. So what? Well, you know what I mean?
It'll be all right.
You know what I told him? You're gonna love this. I said, look, what you do with all of that pain, you take it and you go to the fucking gym. Yep. You go to the gym and you pour it out in the gym and watch how your life changes. Yep. Like, you're going to feel fantastic. Yep. You're going to look fantastic. You're going to be achieving something that you haven't. Like, he used to work out. He used to be big into it. He actually knows who you are too. But he was like, he was real into it back in the day. Yeah. And she kind of discouraged him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he fell off. He's like, man, I used to go to the gym 5-6 days a week, Right. And I loved it. I used to go there, pre-workout, shotgun. Remember an old shotgun? The OG shotgun, dude. Yeah. He was like, yeah, I used to do all that, man. He's like, I haven't for years, for 10, 12 years. Right, he's like, I just haven't even gone to the gym. Right. You know what I mean?
I know the feeling.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, you take all of that, and it's going to make you a better you.
So I know you've heard the term sexual transmutation.
Yeah.
And that's what he needs to do. He needs to take all that energy and instead of chasing women, focus on yourself. The women gonna always be there. As a matter of fact, you will attract the one that you really want once you get to the place where become the person that you need to be or want to be, and then the rest gonna take care of itself.
Yeah.
You might be lonely for a minute because your standards are so high, but you won't feel lonely. You might be by yourself for a minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You won't feel lonely.
Yeah.
You'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's what I told him. I said, look, don't be one of those dudes that goes and like, talks shit about her and all that. Don't do any of that because what you're doing is you're carrying it.
Yep.
You need to just be like, look,
just put it down.
Yeah. Like it is what it is.
Get it out and put it down.
It's over. Yeah. Wish her the best.
Yep.
Just hey, this is we're not meant to go past this point.
Yep.
I wish you the best,
Yep.
all the success. I hope you find the person that's right for you. All of that. Send her off with that.
Yep.
And then take all of that shit because you're gonna miss her. You have a lot of memories. You got years and years with her. I was like, if you gotta move to another place, cool. But you don't have to move, man. You could stay there. It's okay. It's
really
okay
is.
for you to.
I mean, a lot of times people can't remember what their life used to be before.
No.
Like me, it's almost hard to remember what my life was like before
Man.
Kelly. But it's literally been more. So I met her when I was 25.
Yeah.
And I'm 58.
Yeah.
She was 23, just turned 20. I think she was still 23, turned 24. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So we've been together longer than we've been apart.
Yeah.
Most
of your life has been with this one woman.
And so, it's not perfect. She get on my nerves every single day, but I love her every single day too. Yeah. So, and it's like, it's never boring.
No.
She gives me my space. I give her space. We do stuff together. And I was watching something the other day talking about, you don't really need to be with somebody that's just like you. You need somebody opposite of you to make you expand, and then you put it all together, and now you got your culture and their culture.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what I told him. I said, look, right now you need to just close that chapter, move on, and open up yourself to what the universe wants you to feel.
Exactly. And speaking of the universe and God, just straight up, go into your quiet place and talk to God like we talking right now, and he'll bring it for you. And the crazy thing about it is now, I'll tell people, be very specific.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be like, like the genie with the joke about the 3 wishes.
Oh yeah.
I want to be hung like a black man and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that type of stuff, you got to be specific. But if you're specific and you believe, in other words, I'm acting as if, man, watch out, it's coming.
Yeah, and
coming.
And that's what I told him. I said, look, I said, I know what you're really thinking about is that you're gonna miss her.
You miss the flesh, and to be honest with you, I've made mistakes and stayed in situations because I didn't want to not have that connection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
physical.
You just drag it on, and then you end up breaking up anyway.
But
you know
the
what I'm
whole
saying?
way, what do you know? That it should not. You should.
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm
be.
saying.
You know
the whole
what I mean?
time,
Like,
you're just kicking the can down the road.
Right. Right.
It's hard. It's hard to break off and cut up and all that. I admire. You heard the story about people. I went to work, came home, and all the shit was gone.
Oh,
you know
the whole house was
like,
empty. Yeah.
I know that's jacked up, but I admire somebody who has those kind of kahunas, depending on how they did them. Like, not if they did them wrong, but I'm saying, like, in other words, I need to do something different. Yeah. You kind of got me trapped in this situation. I don't know what to do. I don't have that. I can't do that. Yeah. But I'm saying, I used to be like, damn, I admire that. I don't condone it, but I admire that because that takes balls.
Yeah. No, it's different, man. But, I think with him, he was getting bad advice, too, because he was talking to a bunch of dudes that were just beta-tized, man. Yeah. They had these women that basically were walking around with the dicks.
The women,
the house. Yeah, the women had the dicks.
Yeah.
And
that's a thing. That goes around. That's a lot. This
more than ever.
All that type of shit. I'm just like, okay,
right. So he was getting advice from all these dudes that were just that were just demasculated. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, you can't get advice from someone who wants to be out, but he can't get himself out. Like, you think that guy right now doesn't want to be free? Like,
oh boy, it reminds me of back in the day, hanging out with dudes. Man, if I was you, I'd be blah 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 blah.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, bro,
Like,
you wouldn't last no time. You'd be locked up in jail.
Right.
I'm like, if I did any of those things, I'd be in jail or dead.
Yeah.
You can't be 300 and something pounds wilding out. You can't. I like we talk about Andrew Jackson. I understand why he's laid back like that. What if he was loud and obnoxious and just grabbing chicks?
Yeah.
5, 4. You know what I'm saying? Just lock his ass up.
Yeah. They'll be like, whoa, that's too much. That's too much.
You're not getting away with that shit.
Yeah. So no, I mean, so the advice is let her go.
Yeah. She already told you.
Right.
The fact that she went off on you and your parents because you're trying to figure out if it's the right thing.
Didn't even say anything bad, Tony.
No. They can feel it.
Yeah.
They can feel it. You gotta understand. People don't understand. Like, you really need to trust your parents. They're you.
Yeah.
They're like my sons. I'm like, bro, you are me. I'm like, I can sit across the room and know what you're thinking just by how you sitting.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
you don't tell me nothing.
So I'm not ever gonna tell you anything to put you in harm's way because you're my child.
Right.
So when I tell you stuff, I'm telling you because I already see your wheels turning.
Right.
I already know where you're going. I already know what's next. I told Nico when he first got me care, I'm like, bro, if you ain't trying to have no babies, you better wrap it up. I said, because y'all are in love. I said, them two, that's it. Y'all can't keep that apart. Either you protect yourself or it's happening.
That's a wrap.
We had a conversation. He called me. Told me that she was pregnant. I was like, I told you, bro. Yeah. I'm like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys don't understand how life really happens. There's a lot of times with people, like me. My mom was a virgin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't even be here. Yeah. And we'll get into that subject matter later. That's why I'm not just pro-life, but I am pro-life. You know what I'm saying? I still believe in a woman should be able to do whatever she wants with her body.
Right.
But I also believe that life starts at conception.
Right.
And if you pay, you gotta pay to play. There's a consequence or a result from that. This is the circle of life. You can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So if you participate, more than likely that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you gotta pick the person that you. That's why the Bible says wait till you get married.
Right.
Right. But all this it should also probably add, but make sure you go and learn the person and know what you want and know what you expect before you get married too. We just focus on the physical part. The sexual part.
That's a tricky thing.
It is tricky
because if every other box is checked off, she's pretty, she's nice to you, she motivates you, she takes care of you, but the sex is terrible.
So terrible in attitude or just physically don't know what she's doing?
There's no connection.
Then if all those boxes is checked, you could teach her, so you have to recognize that, and you could teach her how to, you can't. You might not be able to turn her into a freak, but guess what? I guarantee you, you ain't gonna find a freak with all that other shit checked off either. So it's kind of like it's always gonna balance out. But depending on the chick, like especially if she's a virgin, you're gonna have to teach her.
Yeah, but she has to be open-minded. Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and it's how you do it too.
But here's the problem with that, man. Most dudes don't know what the fuck they're doing.
100
to teach the girl,
nor care, because you know what I'm saying, like
they're just trying to
we gonna get ours regardless unless there's some other circumstance. So we be going in, don't we?
Oh,
so I remember like my attitude about sex was always to please the woman, because I knew I was gonna get there eventually.
It's pleasing.
So my goal was to blow her mind.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that was my whole goal. So man, it's just making me think of just stuff that women used to say. Don't be trying to turn me out and all this other type of stuff, is because a lot of times they're not used to guys actually
caring about.
You know what I'm saying? Like really trying to hook them up. You know what I'm saying? They're not really used to that.
Right.
So, but that was my whole attitude.
That should be the mentality right off the bat. It's like, because like you said,
I want them at work talking with their girl, child, please, child.
Why you walking like that?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I saw Paj.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Or don't say nothing. They be like, oh, okay, we know what you did this weekend.
Right.
So yeah.
But that's what it comes to. I hear that a lot. Like when we're talking, when we doing mentoring and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, man, this sex is just, You know, and they
because you're comparing it to porn, though.
But that's what I was gonna say.
You're comparing it to them chicks
porn,
who
man.
are damn near possessed by demons. They don't even know what they're doing until they go back and watch the movie. Right. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe it was 7 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even believe it. I try to tell people don't understand energy and the other side, the other realm,
right?
That is interacting with us, but we can't see it.
It's another dimension.
People do not understand. I was on the way over here today, and this lady was talking about most people get parasites from other people.
Yeah,
right. People don't understand.
Yeah,
there's STDs, not sexually transmitted diseases, sexually transmitted demons, sexually transmitted parasites. People don't understand that. You got a bunch. You ever? Oh, that bitch crazy.
Yeah.
She's probably not crazy. She probably got one of them. She done got all them dudes, all them bodies. One of them, 1 or 2 or 5 or 7 of them brought some entities with them. And she's carrying it around. And it's driving her crazy because she don't know what it is. She don't know where it came from.
Yeah. And it's funny thing is we talked about the bodies thing.
Yeah.
And how people don't realize that it literally, genetically, scientifically changes a woman every time she sleeps with a dude.
Yep. It's called seed for a reason. They are the soil. Yeah. So I grow a garden every year, right? So this year I just grew watermelons and tomatoes.
Yeah.
But there was...
Why watermelons, man?
Because I'm black. And I love it. I don't really do a lot of fried chicken. I'm like, I have never met someone that said, ew, watermelon.
I'm like, how did that become a racist thing? I'm like, I love watermelon, man. I'm like, I know lots of people that love watermelon. Like, what does that have to do?
White folks everybody love watermelon, bro. Especially
I love fried chicken.
Oh, everybody love fried chicken.
Those are delicious. Both of those are delicious. Why would you?
So that means that we have style and good taste.
Dude.
So every year when I'm growing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Stuff that I planted last year is popping up. And I'm like, what? I ain't planted that this year. I planted, some things are perennial and annuals that come back, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, I have a compost bin. So I take all my scraps and I throw them in the compost bin. I got potatoes and tomatoes growing in the compost bin.
Out of the compost bin.
Because of the seed is in there. And so when the man plants his seed, it's in there. It's in the soil. It's in the DNA. Yeah. It ain't going nowhere. You can't rinse it out. You can't douche it out. It's in there.
Embedded.
So that's why they say wait till you're married. So now if I wait till I'm married, if I wait and you wait, that means we don't got none of that stuff.
It's clean.
Both of us. It's beautiful. Now we're in modern time.
I was gonna say
we're long time fornicators.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to, but now I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. And I mean, they eating ass in the 8th grade now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really bad. It's really really bad. And so these kids are like just out there because they have porn on their phone
at school.
Like back in the day, we had to get to find the magazine under the mattress and shit.
Remember the VHS? You had to rewind this shit.
I'm talking about before I'm old. So we used to have the magazines, up under the mattress, or you find them in the closet somewhere. Oh my God! Now you could just. You could be in church.
I'll tell you something hilarious.
And go on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So
when I was in, I gotta tell you this. You reminded me. You said magazines. When I was in middle school, I had a good friend of mine that played basketball with us, and his parents were divorced, but his dad had like a stack of Playboy magazines in the bathroom.
Oh wow! Didn't even hide it.
Didn't even hide it.
Reading material.
So he'd be like, "You guys want to go to my house?" I'm like, "Which house?" He's like, "My dad's." I'm like, "Yes." We go into all of a sudden, everybody goes, "Yeah." We just go right in there, grab the stack, come to the living room.
Exactly. Like, now it's everywhere, bro. Like so now it's like you go to the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, all I see is ass cracks in the gym now. It's like unbelievable.
But the yoga pants have been modified to even. Accentuate,
bro. And I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't complaining. I'm just saying, like, I have no questions. When I see you, I don't have no questions. I know exactly what I'm. It's insane.
But here's the thing.
But back in the day, we had the remember the Jane Fonda with the new teardrop.
The thong.
So, but somehow this stuff now is worse. I don't know how. I don't know.
I tell you what it was back then. You just didn't even.
They didn't work out. No, there was like you got.
No, they're doing like full squats, ass to heel squats, and like those yoga. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that go like.
It kills me how they wear an oversized shirt and it's rolled up in the back and hang.
Like, why are you wearing a shirt even? Like,
No, I'm just saying it just kills me. I'm just like this whole new style.
but
of
you
fashion.
don't think that they know what the fuck they're doing wearing those pants?
One.
It doesn't make you squat better.
No.
Okay, it doesn't make you squat better or further or more weight or any of that shit.
No.
You're trying.
That's
you want to get attention.
That's all well thought out.
Yeah.
From the designer to the person that's wearing them.
You're not
they
wearing those
know
pants
exactly
for
what
the
they're
workout
doing.
reasons.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. They're driving the dudes to fucking want to run their heads in the wall.
To be honest with you, I don't even understand. It's damn near panties in the gym.
Fucking crazy, man.
Damn near.
I can't even.
Little bitty shorts.
Dude, so listen, man. We don't even go to like a real gym. We go. I mean,
you go
it's
anytime?
still a real gym. Anytime
Yeah.
Fitness is still a real gym, but we don't go to like a big gym.
Like Lifetime and all that. Yeah.
Forum, Lifetime.
Yeah.
We go to Anytime Fitness, where there's like 4 members.
There at a time.
3 of them are 90, and then it's me.
You still go to that same one?
Yeah, same one.
Cool.
Couple of reasons I love that place is there's never anybody there.
Right.
It's open 24/7. There is no excuses for not getting to your workout. Right?
None.
Literally there's none, right? And the other thing is I don't have to worry about my wife being upset
Right.
about these kind of women being around me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And doing things like that. She's like, she knows. Like she knows what's up. Like she's been there. She's seen the gym. She's seen it when it's packed.
Right.
And she's seen it when it's like usual. So she knows. So she understands, like, I'm not going to the gym for any of that. Like, I'm not going to the gym to go look at these chicks that come like that at all.
Right.
I'm going to the gym to get my workout in, and I'm trying to be there 30, 45 minutes, and I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to spend all day there either.
No.
So it's nice, but at the same time, I got my friends that are like, dude, I can't even. My friend Jason, he's like, he goes to the gym for like 2 hours, and he's like, and he's an Uber driver. That's what he does. So he's got all this time,
Right.
and he's trying to get in shape. So he's doing cardio, he's doing this, but he'll go over there and he'll talk to everybody. You know what I mean? And he'll tell me, he's like, dude, these women out here are like crazy. I can't even, you know, the way they come dressed to the gym. Is,
I'm so grateful to be happily married and all that. I mean, I don't even, if I, you know, my dad recently, my mom passed, and my dad got remarried, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I feel, you know, I'm just like, my heart goes out to him because I understand his thought process, but it's just, I mean, it's the pool, you know, it's like it's a totally different mentality.
Yeah.
Like, you know, him and my mom was together 50+ years.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gonna be able to replace that.
No, ever.
Not
even close.
It's not ever gonna happen.
No.
So you have to like, reinvent yourself almost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm happy that he's free now and
dude, like you said, I would never want to be out there right now trying to date.
No.
Bro, it's so, like, I would, like, literally, who you date?
Well, I mean, like the old me would be having a field day.
Well, yeah.
No, I know.
I'm
I'm
not
saying the
talking
old
about
me would be having a field day.
The old us would be like, yo, how many apps you got on your phone? I got, you know what I mean? It would be, actually, it might have been, my phone might explode.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it, like back then, there were no phones and all that, and app. And and how busy was your schedule
so
without any of that?
And since we
With a beeper.
So, you know, I remember when I first started bodybuilding, it got serious, right? So they was like, you got to eat 6 times a day, right? I'm just like, wow. I was like, at one point I was having sex more than meals a day.
More meals.
That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's how
that was your
crazy
schedule?
it is.
Yeah, that was your cardio.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's that appetite. That's the flesh.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's no limits.
Yeah.
You know, you go as far as you can go. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your resources are, whatever your capabilities are, you know, I maxed mine out.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a curse, man.
It,
You know what I mean? Like, people go, hey, you know, the guys that are not in that position, like, man, dude, if I was you, I was like, no, trust, if you were me, you would feel the way I feel.
right.
You'd be like, can
That's
I just
why-
find one
That's why
that I can do everything with?
That's why when I retired from bodybuilding, I went into the bushes like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done. I don't want no more attention.
Right.
I don't want nobody saying X-Men. You know,
Yeah.
I used to travel all over the world.
Yeah.
And I've never been any place that nobody didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me because I wasn't trying to be like
Right.
that.
Right. You weren't even out there like that.
No, I wasn't putting myself. I mean, I'm showing up. I'm doing my things. But
Tony,
personally, I think it was because of the amount of time I stayed in the game.
You were long.
I had I had like a 7-year amateur career, then a 5-year break, and then a 17-year pro career. Yeah. So people watching me grow up.
It's the consistency.
Literally.
You know what I mean? It's consistency, but also, I mean, you talk to people. Everybody says the same shit. Like, hey, he's such a cool dude. Yeah. He's always cool.
I was
always
never
took
threatened.
pictures. Yeah. Always chill. You know what I mean? Like, it was like your demeanor was inviting.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like for you to be like 300 pounds, like looking like how you did, and be such a nice person. They're like, that is a match.
I used to do a lot of events, especially overseas, and I never forget. I was in the UK. Yeah. I might have told the story already, but I was in the UK, and I was on a tour with one of my sponsors, and we did like 12 cities. We drove around. So the UK is kind of shaped like Michigan. Yeah. So we drove all the way up. We did 12 spots, 12 shows. Okay. Yeah. So we're driving one day, and that's where I learned about roundabouts in Europe and in Australia.
Oh yeah. That's where it started.
We're driving. And my man, we having a conversation, and then right in the middle of the conversation, he said, "You know what, bro? I got to stop. I owe you an apology." And I was just like, "What happened?" I'm thinking, "Well, you ain't got my money, something. What's going on?" Right. He's like, "No." He's like, "You're nothing like I thought you were. Yeah. I assumed you were this, whatever he assumed." And I was just like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like. I'm still the 162-pound dude. Yeah. I just put on the meat suit.
You got the meat suit.
I didn't change who I was. Right. They say that, money makes you whatever. I'm like, money and gear makes you more of what you already are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was always a polite, nice. It was just the way I was raised. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the oldest. I took care of I helped raise my brothers and sisters because my dad was in school and my mom was working. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn how to be a nurturer and compassionate and all that type of stuff.
Patient.
That's how I learned it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to change that or like I said earlier, like when I was talking about Andrew, if I was a loud, obnoxious asshole, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. I'd be gone.
Right.
I'd be gone.
Right. I know, but this would never work. I mean, the reason we click is because we've been through a lot of the same shit, number one.
At the same time. And we've been friends throughout all of it. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, and we've never had like a fallout or anything like that. And if we ever had a problem, we'd be like, "Hey man, let's just sit down and talk." I ain't never had no problem with you.
But
what are you talking about? No.
Yeah, you fucking motherfucker. Yeah, that truth comes out. But you know what I'm saying? Like we would handle it like how we handle everything else. Like it'd be okay. But you just said, man. I tell people always ask me about TRT. I heard you get roid rage and all. I'm like, no. What that means is if you're already an asshole, it makes you into a bigger asshole. It doesn't take somebody who's calm and turns into.
I will tell you this: Tren and halotestin.
Oh, Tren is.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'll say
Tren
TRT,
and halotestin. Oh, TRT. Okay.
Testosterone, not Tren.
Yeah. Like,
Tren is.
You know what I call Tren now?
What you call it?
The genie in the bottle.
Yeah, I can see that.
I call it the genie in the bottle because whatever that shit is, like it changes you as a person, like physically, visibly, and internally. Your thought process changes.
We're talking about TRT.
No, I get you. Yeah. I get you. I just had to clarify because sometimes people.
By T, we were talking about testosterone, not Tren. Because Tren is
medically approved.
Isn't Tren? Yeah, right. Actually has a medical application for it. Because Tren doesn't have any medical application. Like I know they use it for like muscle wasting diseases and things like that because it's just so strong. It's so much. Was it 5 times stronger, 10 times stronger than testosterone?
Parabolin and Tren.
Yeah.
They're similar in names, like the ingredients the same, but some kind of way that your body absorbs it changes. So parabolin wasn't as bad as Tren as far as the psychological part for some reason. Yeah. And it was a cleaner, more visual look. I remember it really changed the way I looked. It didn't make me like any much bigger or anything. It just changed the way that made the muscles look denser, more defined, like that. So it was more cosmetic.
And you never took a lot of anything.
No, I have experimented. Yeah. But most of the time, if I'm got a new coach and they be like, yo, here you go. And I'll be like, no, I ain't doing that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I did most of my own chemistry because by the time I got to the pros, I already knew what worked for me and what I wasn't going,
you knew your body.
How far I was going to go. Like, I have experimented. I remember the first time when Serostim first came out. So I had always, the only GH I was using was the Genotropin, the Eli Lilly, the real shit. We was doing 2 IUs, getting crazy results. So I ended up getting like a kit of the Serostim. It's like, I think it was like 7 vials of 18 IUs. Yeah. So I got a box and I did 9 one day, 9 the next day, and then caught a flight to California. Right.
9 IUs?
Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody's doing. So I'm experimenting.
Yeah.
So I went from, 1, 2 to 4 to 6, but Serostim do 9.
Yeah.
So I did my 2 days worth, and then I flew to California. I went to go visit Chris Camere. Got to California, went to Gold's Gym Venice, got on the scale, and I was literally 18 pounds heavier. And I was just
2 days?
Yeah. And so then I went back and got the box. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I'm started reading the insert, right? And if you look at Eli Lilly's insert, it'll say from E. coli reconstituted, blah, 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 right? If you read Serostim.
Cadaver.
No, it says rat T cells.
Oh.
I was just like, I gave that shit away. I didn't take another vial.
Yeah.
I was just like, and so then I started looking at all the midsections.
Right. Oh.
And if you ever see I've seen like pictures of where they're getting ready to do an autopsy on a rat.
Yeah.
They'll have them laid out and they got that long abdomen.
Yeah.
Go back and look at the bodybuilder. Go look at them midsections and abdomens.
No shit.
Yeah, bro. So that's why I never mess with Serostim. Other than that.
Yeah,
at one time.
GH could be so good for you, but it can also be so bad for you, man.
I think the original Eli Lilly at 2 IUs or less, it shouldn't have never went no farther than that.
Yeah.
Nassar used to get it, and he used to do 24. I used to do 2 boxes a day.
Oh, my God.
And you saw him go from just all right to what he... So, in other words, it will give you the result.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to give you the result as well. You know what I'm saying?
Else too, yeah.
So you're going to get the insulin resistance, the enlarged heart, all that stuff. The acromegaly.
That's what killed him. Was the enlarged? They said his heart was it weighed twice as much of what it should have weighed.
Yeah,
twice as much.
Yeah, that's all that. That's all that. High. It's not the HGH. It's the high dose.
That is too much of it.
Yeah. Because it's making everything grow.
Every organ except for your eyes and your brain grow. Yeah. Every organ, like crazy, man. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Don't fuck with that shit. So Richard's here. Rich, what's up, man? You got these tumblers for us?
Got you.
And we got. Yeah, go ahead. Tell him.
No, go ahead.
Tell him what. So we got. Thank you, my brother. So we got. Tony was talking about this detox.
Ooh,
yeah, baby.
I like it. It's official.
There you go.
It's official. So yeah, I'm gonna explain it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah.
So when I was going through my cleansing journey, I was like, I've fasted before, dieted before, and done keto before, and you feel like crap.
Right.
And the reason why you feel like crap is because all the toxins are being re-released from your cells back in your tissues, back into your bloodstream, so your liver and kidneys can filter it out. So I went into looking at herbs that help filter out the body, filter out toxins, the lymphatic system, the kidneys, liver, all that. And so I came up with this combination of eucalyptus, which is going to parasites hate eucalyptus. It clears your lungs so you can breathe better. So when you breathe better, that means you can burn more fat and you release more toxins. Then I got hyssop. And the reason why I use hyssop, because the Bible says, purge me with hyssop. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to use that.
It's in the Bible.
And exactly. Then hibiscus is good for uric acid. It's good for a lot of stuff. But that was the main driver for that. And then turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon. So turmeric and ginger, anti-inflammatory.
Nice.
Cinnamon, blood sugar control. So I put all that together, and I came up, and I call it Warrior's Blood. Have you ever tried it?
Great name, man.
Have you ever tried it?
No, it's the first time.
And it kind of looks
it
like
looks pretty
blood.
as shit. It's pretty as shit.
I don't really need none, but I'm gonna drink some anyway.
Yeah, man.
And
Ooh, it smells good.
it's good for you,
Bro, it smells Kind of smells like a margarita, honestly.
Well, you probably could put some vodka. You probably could put some vodka in it.
Some tequila in there. Oh my God, that's good. Now, can you drink this
all day?
You drink this all day, every day?
Especially, yeah. Put in ice. So sometimes I drink it warm, but I like it better iced. So I
like it better iced too.
I keep a gallon of it in my refrigerator at all times, so it's always cold.
What sweetener is in this?
So Drew, our buddy Drew, he invented a sweetener called Nature Sweets. So sometimes I use that, depending on. And then sometimes I use stevia. So originally, when I first started making it, I was using stevia. But now that we have Nature Sweets, I switched over to that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can make it either or because it does taste different.
Yeah. Would you ever make it like with honey or something like that to be like all natural?
I'm trying to keep the calories to a minimum because I'm putting people in ketosis.
What if I want more calories?
Well, but so when I have people do the cleanse, right?
Right.
Main thing with the cleanse is I want to get you in ketosis,
right,
and create autophagy. And so we got to keep the insulin down.
Gotcha.
So that's why I use stevia because it doesn't really spike your insulin that much, and it doesn't, diminish the result.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you can drink this. How much of it on a daily basis could you drink?
So during the cleanse, I have people do like 8 to 16 ounces 2 or 3 times a day. But like I say, during the cleanse for the 7-day part, all you're taking in tea, bone broth, fermented foods. That's all.
Oh, that's part of the
cleanse. So you can have as much as you want.
Oh, so you can have as much as you want. Okay.
Yeah. So I usually give somebody a gallon that lasts them 7 days.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what can you expect during this cleanse? I know you told me, but you got to tell them.
So, man, the lady so I used to do a 3-day cleanse, then a 5-day.
Yeah.
And then when me and Kelly went through her cancer therapy, we did a 7-day. And I was like, 7, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And so I lost 22 pounds that first 7 days. My cholesterol dropped 54 points in the 7 days. My blood pressure dropped 10 points on each number in 7 days. Because I went in there, my blood pressure was like 132 over 120 something.
Right.
And then when I left, it was like 106 over 70 something.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
That's crazy.
And so after I did that, 3 weeks later, I went to another doctor, separate doctor, different city. And he does heart. He does a heart program. It's like a 3-day program. And the first day you come in, he tests you, and then he does all kind of muscle testing and a bunch of other. He put these wires on you, test you, and then he does a bunch of other tests. So the second day when I came back, well, we'll actually tell you about the first day. First day I'm in there, he's muscle testing me, and he kept leaving the room and coming back and leaving the room and coming back because he did an intake, right? And I told him my whole history.
Right.
And so he kept leaving and coming back. And so his assistant was standing right there. I'm like, what's wrong? Why is he leaving and coming back? He said, he's never met anyone that wasn't vitamin B deficient. He does this test. He's done it tens of thousands of times, over 10,000 times.
Right.
And every single person has always been vitamin B deficient because they took the B vitamins out of the food chain. So if you're not manually going to get them, you ain't going to get them.
Yeah.
And so he was like, well, why are you here? And I was just like, well, I had some infection around my heart. I told him about the Metatron scan.
Yeah.
And I said, I wanted to see how healthy my heart was.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah. So he said, I got it in my phone. I can show it to you. He pulled out the paper and showed me the results.
Yeah.
And he said, this means that you have what do you call it, your flub dub? He said, your flub dub is like a teenager. And he went down the whole list, and at the bottom it had biological age 20.
Get the fuck out.
And I was like 53. Wow. And so he's like, I thought you said you was 300 pounds for over a decade.
Yeah,
I was like, I was. He said, I thought you said you did steroids like, for 20-something years. I said, I did. He said, but this don't really make no sense. I said, I don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got the rarest blood. I'm AB negative blood. I'm like, my mother was a virgin. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so yes, this happens to me quite often. And he was blown away. And so was I, because I had no idea what he was going to do.
Right.
And so for him to say, he's like, no 20-year-old tested 20. And so that takes me back to the cleanse that I did and how much it lowered my toxic load, because that's what the cleanse is all about, to lower your toxic load so I can reintroduce you to your non-toxic self. Right. The person you were like in high school, you weren't toxic yet.
Yeah.
You were still eating at home. You wasn't choosing what you ate. You know what I'm saying? Like when you left home, you made all your own choices. And that's usually where people go wrong, It's because they wasn't raised like that. They haven't been taught that, so they just eat the standard American diet. Right. You know, take supplements, work out, and you end up, you know, with sad. You end up sick, dis-ease. And so the cleanse was it helped me clean my system out. It helped me help Kelly get cured of cancer, not in remission. Right. They was like, there's no trace.
Right.
And so I started sharing it. That's how I ended up making $1 million. I gave it away. I gave the program away, and I got a little commission for the products that was in the program. Freaking, it was the wildest thing ever.
That's crazy.
So,
well, I'm definitely gonna try this out. I know some of the.
I'm actually getting ready to make it commercial.
Yeah.
So I found a bottler, and we're gonna do 32-ounce cartons like bone broth.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, we'll let them know.
Yep.
We'll let them know when it's ready.
Yep.
I know the guys want to do the cleanse too, so.
Oh yeah.
We need some more Warriors blood. I'm taking that one.
100%. Oh yeah. No, I got yours on the stove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I get everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, man. It's our first one in our actual studio. It's a wrap. We've done it. It's a landmark.
In the comments, let us know how y'all like the new decoration.
Yeah. Let us know everything.
We don't care if you like it or not, but we just want to know.
Yeah. I mean, if you hate it, say you hate it. It's fine.
We'll change it. We'll make it pink if you need it.
That's right. That's right. We'll do it. But yeah, whatever you guys are thinking about the show, we'd love to get some feedback, good or bad.
Right.
You're not gonna hurt our feelings. So bring it. All right, man.
All right, man.
Hey, let's do this. Take care, guys.